Hello, and welcome to WOPG, Words of Peace and Goodness production of Any Good Thing. Written, produced, and directed by Jay Town. Starring Tracy Clemish as Charity and John Salerno as Derek. Today's episode begins with Derek and Charity seeking love and finding something else. We see a park bench overlooking the heart of the city. The couple meet for the first time. He walks up the walk and sits on the bench. She comes up a few seconds later and sits. They look at each other and say at the same time,
Are you the one? How did you know to come here?
I was told to come here.
How did you know the voice is right?
I don't.
What would be the sign that you would know me as the one?
I would just know.
How about my directives? He would have blue eyes, blonde hair, a firm physique, and $1 million bank account.
Well, I have green eyes, dirty brown hair, I'm soft in the middle and soft in the head, and I'm disabled. So I guess I'm right out, huh?
Not necessarily. Are you kind?
Yes.
Are you honest?
To a fault.
Do you live life purely?
Of course.
Do you take in stray animals?
Yes.
Do you pick up pennies in the road?
No.
No, that's the acid test.
The acid test, huh?
My name is Charity Rodriguez.
Derek Hughes.
they shake hands.
Tell me, why are you sitting here, on this bench? It can't be because you're waiting for your soulmate alone.
Is that so wrong?
It's just that there are plenty of places you could be, if you are looking, that is. Like the library, for instance.
Nothing there. I looked.
Mall?
Ghost town.
Supermarket, don't tell me. Too many fruits.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
I retract the statement, Your Honor.
I am not pretty. I am not in shape. All I have is my mind, spirit, soul with which to attract someone. And who has time to see that? Everybody is fixated on surface. Breasts, hair, smile, legs. So why would a man with average looks, smile, and legs stand a chance in this world of finding someone significant to matter to him?
You paint a dim picture. But look at me, huh? Pretty, would you say?
Stunning.
Interesting. You judge me by my shape or my face or whatever. And what does that make you but a hypocrite? Don't judge and you won't be judged, huh?
Men and women are not the same.
No, most decidedly. Women don't harbor evil like men do.
Like what? Altruism or agape love?
No, like prejudice, pride, lust, shameful acts.
I try to live with my best intentions showing. I fail too often, I'm afraid.
What do you believe then?
I believe in God, mostly. I believe in Christ and the Spirit. I believe in doing God's will, mostly.
So, you're a Christian then? You don't seem like one.
Gee, thanks.
I mean, Christians are pushy and obnoxious, pushing Christ in my face at the drop of a hat, and so superior, forcing everyone to accept their way alone, as if their God were a simple-minded, one-way only being, as if their God didn't create all of us differently.
So I take it you are not Christian?
Reformed for the better.
But you were a Christian, weren't you?
Here's a story for you. When I was 9 at CCD, the nun pissed me off, so I called her a name. They kicked me out. No communion, no white dress.
No party.
No party. Since then, I've refused to be a part of any organized religion, but I am still an enlightened being.
I can tell you are.
Thank you.
But that is a prerequisite for you being the one. Must be a Christian. You understand.
Well, I guess I'll be going now then.
Wait, maybe I can convert you.
I doubt that.
Why do you say that?
You're hardly the epitome of dedication or strength regarding your so-called faith. You said what you believed as if it were a burden. Is your faith a chore? Because if it is, it's no real faith at all.
Thanks for your expert assessment. I'm actually in a crisis of faith right now, but it hinges on my views about everything other than God.
Such as?
I don't know if I can tell you, or if you really want to hear.
Try me.
A year and a half ago, my girlfriend committed suicide.
Oh my.
Yeah. She didn't betray any sympathies toward the act at all. Just one day, she took all the pills in her cabinet, then gone.
I am so sorry.
That's okay, thanks.
So now you think the next woman on this bench is her. Did you used to sit here with her?
No, I just discovered this bench. I kinda like this view.
Me too. Just in case you're wondering, I know your loss.
How?
I recently lost a boyfriend in that parking lot an hour ago. Been walking around trying to find him. Gotcha, didn't I?
Yep.
I like to laugh at my problems. It makes them easier to deal with.
When I am weak, then I am strong.
Was that Christ?
Paul.
Paul who?
The Apostle Paul.
Sure it wasn't Paul McCartney?
Very good. But you may think that I was sitting here on the anniversary of her death, feeling sad and slipping into a morose, morbid state of mind. But I'm not. I'm sitting here, not remembering, but accepting. And I know she would want me to accept and move on to something better. And I was thinking and feeling that, and behold, you walked up. Is that a burden, hearing that?
Well, it could be a weight, if I wasn't thinking the same thing. I mean, about moving on. The reason I was walking up this street at this time of night is that I always walk up this street the same time of night, and I sit at this bench, and I have never seen you here. And I'm thinking, I'm glad to be alive. I am glad to be here in this city, and I'm glad to be rid of him, finally. And then I see you, and in one glance I think there is something about you that is worth investigating. So here I am, investigating. So tell me, what kind of man are you?
That's a serious question, requires a serious answer. Maybe we can go out sometime and discuss it.
Mildly cheesy, smooth guy. Let's start with, what do you do?
I'm a retired carpenter.
You seem too young to be retired.
I was forced into it by a falling beam. It hit me on the head and neck, and it caused some hemorrhaging, some brain swelling, and cognitive problems.
You seem fine, just too young to retire.
I feel young, just affected. I've been working on my problems for 3 years, but I can't work in any real job. So now I'm on disability.
And everything works, except your brain.
I don't understand the question.
Can you mow grass?
I do.
How about mowing mine? I have a yard that needs mowing every week. I would pay you.
I couldn't take your money.
Why? Not good enough for you? Or is it just because you're attracted to me?
No, that is why I would mow, because I'm attracted to you, but I won't take your money.
You need the money. I want to pay you. Take the job and the money, and no more belly aching.
Fine, you are very persuasive.
Thank you. How about walking with me? I'll show you where I live.
Fine.
Derek walks home from walking with her, in the twilight, thinking, hoping.
God, I know we don't talk like we used to, but I wanted to thank you for my meeting her. Thanks. And I'm not expecting anything. I don't know. She seems nice. But there's something else. Anyway, thanks.
The next day dawned bright for Derek, knowing that soon he would be slaving in the hot sun, pushing somebody else's loud, smelly, dangerous lawnmower around, cutting grass probably filled with ticks, all for the sake of seeing a pretty, friendly, sweet woman with an edge put $20 into his sweaty hand. He approaches her house. She comes out her front door to greet him.
Hi, you remembered.
Actually, I knocked at 2 doors looking for you.
Oh no.
42 was most helpful.
Let's hope the rest of the day is better for you. You said you mowed before.
Yeah, here and there. I know how everything works, though.
Okay, the mower is right there, and an edger. You can work an edger, can't you?
In my sleep.
All the property within this fence, and mind that tree. My father planted it. Okay, I'll be inside if you need me.
Thanks. Let's see here.
She goes inside, fixes a Long Island iced tea, and watches him from a window.
I know you, but you don't know I do. And we shall see, won't we? What have I gotten myself into?
She goes out to meet him as he finishes, a drink for him in hand.
Very nice. How are you?
Fine. Piece of cake.
Good to hear. Thirsty?
What is that?
Long Island iced tea.
No thanks, I don't drink.
Oh, sorry. How about some regular tea? No spice.
Fine.
Come in then.
Inside, he finds a bright, welcoming interior with an open kitchen, with a solid oak island, bright blue living room, and a skunk on the bookcase. He plugs his nose.
It's stuffed, silly. That's Gretel, my father's pet. Been dead 20 years, and by the way, she doesn't stink anymore.
Right. Is this your house?
Been mine 5 years, since my dad died. Sit down, I'll get your tea. No alcohol.
Thanks. Very nice.
The house or me?
Both.
Thanks. Here's your tea.
Thank you.
Listen, you're a guest in my house, so I won't attack you with my questions. Only one.
Should I be worried?
Do you have something to hide?
No.
Then no. Anyway, the question is, are you mentally ill?
No. That was your question? Do you wonder why I talk to myself sometimes, like when I walked home last night, and again when I mowed your lawn today?
Yes. How did you know?
I saw you watching through the window. Anyway, when you see me talking like that, I am addressing God. That's all.
Why out loud?
I think because he used to talk to me, not lately. And I started verbalizing in my house, then outside a little, and I didn't care what people thought of me. And God is real, and I thought I should. The Bible says in Psalms 88, verse 2, Lord my God, I call out by day. At night I cry aloud in your presence. Is this weird?
Not really, now that you explain it. I mean, we talk to animals even though they can't understand anything. I talk to my car. Am I making this worse?
No, I understand.
So, you're not ill?
Would it make it easier if I were?
Yes, I guess it would, because I could dismiss you easier if that were the case.
So if I were mentally ill, you would dismiss me, even though my positives outweigh my negatives?
I'm afraid I might. Obviously, there are different levels, right?
I don't know. I'm not affected.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
You're okay, don't worry. You're normal, that's all.
Is that an indictment?
Just an observation, and one coming from a very flawed individual.
Well, this has certainly been helpful. Now we know we're both flawed. Does that help?
Yes. Yes, it does.
I need to go someplace, so let me pay you. How much?
Nothing. Maybe a glass of tea.
Come on, you work 2 hours. Approximately at how much an hour?
10.
That's 20. Now, how about, since you won't take money, I would like to take you to dinner. There's a nice restaurant on Lion Street, I know. So, what do you say? Tonight around 6?
Sure. But can I meet you there?
Sure, if you want. It's the Rockton House on Lion Street. Are you sure I can't pick you up?
No, I'll be fine. I'll be there. Early.
I like that.
Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome.
Derek walks home, up Bell's Hill to his apartment, and talks to God on the way.
God? Listening? Is this what you promised when I asked you so long ago? She shouldn't have died, but she did. Does her death hold me back or set me free? Now what did I just say? What kind of monster have I become? Ignoring fate, cursing a blessing. Why do I still seek only what pleases me? Help me, God. I know you still care, even though you don't answer my questions. Maybe this is an answer? Maybe. Stop me from deliberate sins.
Charity waits until he is out of sight, then gets in her car and drives to the Millwood Adult Home, where she goes into room 149 to see her mother.
Mildred, this is your daughter. Who?
Mama, how are you today?
Who? I'll be back to check on you two in a little minute. You know where the brush is.
Thanks.
The nurse leaves the room.
Mama, would you like me to brush your hair, just like old times?
She goes to her mother's nightstand and pulls out a brush, stands next to her mother, and gently brushes her hair. Her mother stares into the distance.
Mama, remember that rhyme you used to tell me when I was young? About the one who would save me. Do you?
What's your name?
You know my name, silly. Do you remember when I would hide in the folds of your skirt and you would scare me, saying he would save me? You meant Christ, but I thought you meant my first lover would be him.
Lover?
Anyway, it may be coming true.
Who?
Yes, Mom. I think it's him. Finally.
What?
Yes, Mom, or so I think. Too early to tell, but not too early to tell you.
I don't, but who?
It's okay, Mama. I love you. Hold still now.
At 5:45, Derek gets off the bus and enters the restaurant, looking for his date, whom he finds sitting at the bar, drinking and talking to another man. Derek turns to go.
Hey, you.
He turns, smiling.
Hi, how are you?
Right on time. Want a soda?
Yeah, ginger ale.
You got it.
They get their drinks, go to the table, and order.
Nice place.
Isn't it? I come here a lot.
With Mr. Handsome Pants back there?
Who? Oh, him at the bar. He works with me. Jealous?
He is quite handsome.
And quite married.
What do you do for work?
I'm a special features reporter for Downtown Radio. Downtown. Been there for 2 years.
Where were you before that?
Do I win a prize if I answer right? I was at a station in Albany for 3 years. I'm surprised you haven't heard of me.
I don't listen to the radio much, but I'm sure you do well.
Thank you. This week I'm interviewing Tom Burlington, town supervisor. You should tune in. You might learn something.
I'll try.
The night went well, almost without a hitch, except for the end.
And then he dropped the pumpkin.
That's incredible. And that was your first date?
Yeah. What is your most remarkable first date?
I'd say this one. See, you set that one up.
Oh, clever of me. Seriously, though, aside from this one.
I woke up today and I thought, God's going to speak to me today. And he has, through you.
How do you figure? God doesn't speak through me.
Not verbally, but in actions. Think about it. I am 39, and...
You're 39? Wow. I thought you were low 30s. Congratulations.
Why? How old are you?
Go on with your story.
Anyway, here I was. Old, disabled, missing the one who was my life for years, not feeling healthy at all, and in 2 days you helped me overcome some of the... Your eyes are glazing over. I'm boring you?
Perhaps we are moving too fast.
Perhaps you are right. I was just trying to thank you, that's all.
Yes, I know, and I thank you. I'll get the check.
She pays the bill, and they go to the door.
Thanks again for coming to dinner with me. I really appreciate your presence.
Thank you for everything. I enjoyed it.
Can I offer you a ride home?
No, thank you. I'm going to stay a little longer, go to the bar.
Really? Are you sure?
Certainly. I'll be fine.
Okay. See you next week for the grass?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, bye.
She leaves, gets into her car, and he watches her drive away. He waits for a second, then goes to the door, says goodbye to the concierge, then walks out just in time to hear thunder in the distance. The next morning, Derek walks out of his bathroom sneezing and complains to God.
The terror of the lonely life is the mystery and uncertainty with which the will of God puts upon our soul. Thomas Merton. Now, I just butchered that fine quote as badly as I butchered that fine first date with that fine, fine woman. Am I bugging you? You're bugging me by the way you put me in hairy situations without a razor, up a creek without a paddle. You know I walked home last night. Yeah, I know you know. By the way, you conveniently made it rain on me for 4 miles. Don't think I didn't notice. What's next, God? My arm gonna drop off? Or a palsy? Didn't you think affecting my brain was enough of a picnic for me? You had to take Steph, too? Now how about the next one or the next? You're right. Better shut my mouth or lightning will strike. I don't want to talk to her.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey you, it's Caroline. Look, little brother, I know you're right there. I can feel your stare through the receiver. Anyway, call me soon. I need to talk to you. By the way, blue is not your best color. Bye.
Blue is my best color, numbskull.
A few blocks away, Charity gets ready for her busy day by talking to her best friend.
It's going okay. Everything is going really well.
You don't seem happy.
I'm not happy, just contented.
You don't seem content.
Just stop it. You're trying to bait me into saying something I'll regret.
Is there something you regret?
Stop it.
Are you seeing anybody?
Not really seeing, just went out once.
Really? That's tremendous.
Stop saying it like it's the end of the world if I don't.
Well, since, do I dare speak his name? Since Bill, you just need to get out and do things.
I get out and do things.
You mean with people you work with?
Yeah, with them. Whatever. I'm not going to argue anymore. I mean, he is just some guy I met on a bench.
Tell me about it.
Nothing to it. I met him on a bench, we went out on a date, and he mows my lawn.
Shirtless?
No, goofy. But if he did, I think I might like it.
Is he cute?
It doesn't matter if he's cute as long as he's nice, right? And he is nice. He's very nice. The only problem is that he's a Christian, a Catholic.
Is that a deal breaker?
No, there's no deal to be made or brokered or broken. We didn't have such a good first date.
So what's new? Didn't somebody once drop a pumpkin on you on a first date?
Yes, but that was a long time ago. We were both very young.
Well, did he do better or worse than Pumpkin Boy?
I guess he did better.
Then what are you complaining about? Ask him out again.
Why? What good would that do? Prove how desperate I really am, or how attracted I am to this guy, or both?
What harm would it do?
I don't know. We didn't end our date well.
Why? What did you do?
Not always my fault. I thought we were going too fast, so I told him so.
Interesting. A preemptive strike. Romance 101.
That's not what happened. Okay, it's kind of what happened.
At least you are learning your lessons, because as I recall, moving too fast is what got you in trouble the last time, right?
Finally, some praise. I didn't think you had it in you.
Well, you make it so difficult for it to come out in me.
Ah, and there we have it. Back to square one.
You are easy pickings.
Always. I'll let you know how things turn out, okay?
Are you going to ask him?
I'll let you know.
Okay, counting on it.
Hearing nothing from her for 2 days, Derek occupied himself as best he could, reading and writing and listening to the radio. He called her station and found out when her next segment was on. He tuned in.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Downtown Radio's coverage of local events. With me is Supervisor Tom Burlington. Thank you, Mr. Burlington. How long have you been a supervisor?
For 1 year on my current term, 5 years total.
What made you run initially for public office?
I was reading about the city government and thinking how ineffectual it was, and I thought to myself that I needed to get off my duff and do something, so I put my business tasks aside, gave my responsibilities to the people who could best handle it, and ran. And won, of course.
What have you enjoyed about your tenure as supervisor?
The people. The contact with people, some needy, some energetic and driven, but all worthwhile to listen to and help. That's the thing, helping people accomplish their dreams or just solving their problems. That's my biggest reward.
The question on everybody's mind is the recent floods along the Mohawk River. What can you do to help, and what have you been doing?
Well, when you have an unexpected 100-year flood like we had that caused such widespread devastation, the task list grows quite large, as you can imagine. So, faced with such a disaster, we need to take small incremental steps until we can accomplish our goal of total or near total restoration. And these steps are great because of the intense pressure to solve these problems rightly. The progress seems a sign of our bureaucracy, and we have found the very process of rebuilding and its pitfalls can lead to some chafing and chomping at the bit by a galvanized public who just want to roll up their sleeves and get it done. But sometimes it's not that simple. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, that was just fine. Finally, a soft question. Where are you and your new bride going on your honeymoon?
Well, now that's the $64,000 question. If I told you the Poconos, would you believe me?
Sure, I'm gullible.
No, not the Poconos, but local.
Thank you, Supervisor Burlington. Thank you for joining us at Downtown Radio for this Eye on Local News.
Well, isn't she a peach? I didn't know she was this talented. I wonder why you would send me her. Is it because you knew she'd reject me, leaving me all lonely and rejected? Or was it that I'd reject her, leaving me all sad and dejected? All I know is that I am not calling her. She'll have to call me. Fat chance of that, huh? I am not getting that. All right. Hello?
Is this you? The kind, sensitive soul I met on a bench so many days ago?
Oh, it's you.
Ooh, why so angry?
I thought it was you.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I get angry.
Not with me. Are you still upset about the other night?
Clearly.
Well, I have to apologize for that. You were bearing all, and I shut you down. It's my fault.
No, it was mostly my fault for revealing too much too soon. I do that.
So we're both at fault. Kind of makes it easier to talk about, huh?
Kind of.
Why don't we agree to never stifle each other again and to go more slowly? Can we do that?
Why don't we make an agreement to always wear our heart on our sleeve and always try to shut down the other person?
You're not making this easy.
No, I agree.
Good. Because the last thing I would want is to upset you.
I know.
Listen.
I heard you on the radio today.
Really?
Yes, Supervisor Burlington.
Oh, yeah. Those interviews are taped and aired later.
Not live?
Not live. But I am glad you tuned in anyway.
So am I.
What I wanted to ask you is, can you come over to cut a section of my grass over? Either you missed it or it's growing like a weed. Get it?
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow, maybe? Around 11 a.m.?
I can do that.
Great. See you then. Bye.
Bye. She made that up.
The next day, he approaches her house and looks out at her lawn. She exits the house and greets him.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm glad you could make it. Why don't you come in for a minute?
What about the lawn?
It can wait. What I really wanted to tell you was...
You made it up about the lawn?
How did you know?
God told me.
Really? I thought God didn't talk to you.
Maybe he does now, or did yesterday.
I'm sorry for lying to you.
It's okay, don't worry.
The real reason for all this pretense is that I thought we got off to an exceptional start and then fell off, and I should have been up front.
Why weren't you?
I don't know. If I did, I would tell you. I'm usually quite honest. So, do you want to try again? Another date?
When?
Tonight, around 6-ish?
You have a thing for that time.
I don't know why that is.
Well then, 6 it is. Can I meet you?
Sure. Same place? They know me there.
Fine.
Great.
What about the lawn?
Made it up, remember?
Oh yeah. I'll see my own way out.
Derek walked home very happy and tried talking to his former friend.
God, look. If this is some plot to make me happy, then dash my hopes. Think again. I will not fall for it again, you hear me? Don't mess with me, God. I don't need you to be any more of an enemy than you... Sorry. You're not my enemy. I am. I've proven that time and again. Just don't let me mess this up, all right?
Later, as night was preparing to fall, Derek stepped off the bus near the restaurant, crossed the street, and walked in. He didn't see her at first, so he walked up to the bar and ordered a ginger ale.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Always on time, I see. How do you do it?
My secret.
They're not busy tonight, so they have a table for us. Come on.
They sit down and order, and raise their glasses.
A toast to second dates.
To second chances and to being on time.
After a few minutes of small talk, the conversation turned serious.
But you know it wasn't your fault, right? I mean, it couldn't be.
I know. I don't talk about it much, except to Caroline, my sister.
Older or younger?
Older.
I don't have any siblings. That's why I'm forever curious about other families.
Are you adopted?
Yes. How did you know? Did God tell you?
There are some things I just know. Some things I just figure out.
Just like that?
Some things just defy explanation.
You're beginning to. I'll get the check.
We'll split the check. I don't have much money, but I can spend what I have on worthwhile endeavors.
Fine, tough guy. It's $57.50. Got it?
They pay and exit.
Are you going to let me give you a ride home, or are you going to take the bus?
How did you figure me out?
Some things, I just know.
She takes him home and prepares to drop him off.
So this is the neighborhood you were hiding? Doesn't look so bad.
It's not the best.
I had fun tonight. Thank God we made it to a second date.
How about a third?
Tonight?
No, tomorrow night at 6-ish. Meet you at your house.
Well, that's pushing it. But okay. Same place?
People will talk. This is it here. See you then.
Jerry drives away and he waves. Then he opens up his entrance door, and opening the door wide, he steps in only to be hit on the head by the intruder.
Get him.
There are two intruders who both attack Derek, pitting him to the carpet as they struggle. One of the men pulls out a dagger and stabs Derek in the chest. The intruders leave in a hurry, and Derek struggles to breathe.
No! Help! Help me! God!
Please tune in to the next episode of Any Good Thing, presented by WOPG. This week's cast includes Tracy Clemish as Charity Rodriguez, John Salerno as Derek Hughes, Roberta Esposito as Nurse Dolan, Dorothy Dumkowski as Mildred Rogers, Olivia Esposito as Amanda, Laura Lee Whitlock as Carolyn Peterson, Tobin Cash as Tom Burlington, Jay Town as the attacker, and Scott W. Fields as the narrator. Original music by John Mastromoro.